Ohio Epic 5-9 Gamers, it's your boy Ignant. We're here with a Dead by Daylight video, but I'm not alone. I'm joined here with the buddy Azelly. What's up, Azelly?
What up, guys? We vibing out here. We're gonna talk about all this today. It's gonna be great.
Yep. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with the Survivor perks, which personally I think this is like one of the best set of Survivor perks we've gotten in years. What do you feel?
Yeah, getting a new exhaustion perk is definitely is great. It's been a fat minute since we've gotten one. So,
yeah.
And then on top of this this new boon that we're gonna be seeing, it's gonna be great with the other boons.
Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with Overcome. So, Overcome, it causes the exhausted status effect for 60, 50, 40 seconds. It's pretty much standard, every exhaustion perk does. But, what it does is, whenever you become injured, you retain the movement speed burst for 2 additional seconds. So, it pretty much doubles it, which means usually, if you just hold W when you get hit, you get like 20 seconds worth of distance. So it'll take them like 20 seconds to catch back up to you. With this, it's going to be like 40. Like, you pretty much just guaranteed to get away from it. You like run from one side of the map to the other, damn near. I think it's pretty good. I do think it's going to be very frustrating for killers. But I mean, this is one of those perks, like, it could be more of like an anti-tunnel as well, in a way, if you really try it. The only issue is it is an exhaustion perk, so like you can't run it like dead hard, sprint burst, or anything like that. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, it definitely can help a lot of different playstyles. I actually really like this perk. And like you said, just getting away from the killer, that definitely really helps. So if you just like, I don't know, vault a pallet and you can't really have anywhere to go and you just get hit, you can straight up get out of there really quickly. And that extra 2 seconds is really gonna help.
Yeah, because the thing with this game is a lot of people just don't realize that 2 seconds is a huge time in this game. Like, because like every second pretty much counts, and to be able to get that extra speed burst for 2 seconds is huge. Because like I said, usually you get hit, that's like 20 seconds of distance if you hold W. Because usually you just hold W, get to the next loop, and then you're good to go. This one gives you a lot more time with that. No, you pretty much you have this perk, you're gone. Like, the killer is not fighting you.
Exactly, and then come out with other perks, just makes it even better.
Yeah. Corrective Action. This one is made just for the Truth DT, basically. So you start the trial with 1, 2, 3 tokens depending on the tier. So at max tier is going to be 3 tokens, and you gain the token each time you succeed at a great skill check, up to a maximum of 5 tokens. And then each time another survivor is on the generator with you, if they miss a skill check, it counters that and just gives them an instant good skill check. So like I said, if we're playing with Truth, he does not know how to hit skill checks to save his life. So I'd probably be running this perk a lot. That way we actually get generators done in time. It's one of those, it's really good, but it's only going to be really good if you're really in comms, I'd say, because you have to kind of like coordinate with it since you have to be on the generator with them. It's kind of like prove thyself. I think it'd be fun with a full generator build though. So what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely really think this perk will combo good with other perks, and like I said, you're really gonna need comms. It's unfortunate though that it won't work on yourself, but definitely if you're, have a build and you're running toolboxes and all that good stuff, you can definitely get some use out of this perk as like your 3rd or 4th perk in your build.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm probably not going to use it much, but I do like it. All right, now for my favorite one, because I love the Boon Totems. We have Boon Exponential, and this is the one I've been waiting for. So I've been asking for them to have like an unbreakable effect on the Boon Totem, and that's what this is. So at tier 3, you get 100% bonus to the recovery speed, which is just really, really, really good. And it lets you get up off the ground, and it's pretty much unlimited. So it's kind of like No Mither mixed with like a super cracked unbreakable, which is very weird. Because when we're playing the PTB, a lot of people are still slugging, even though this perk was a thing. I don't know why they're doing that. But I really love this perk. Boon Totems is like rekindled my love for the game. Maybe not love, but it rekindled the fun for the game. Because the Boon Totems is so much more fun. Gives you more stuff to do as a survivor. I really like them. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's also gonna go great with like Circle of Healing, having like the additional. So say you're just like slugged and you just are healing like super fast and shit, and then you just have a homie pull up and they just heal you even faster. It will actually be crazy. Like the amount of anti-slugging this perk provides is so good, and the fact that it'll like it can free up a perk slot instead of using Unbreakable, and you just have a couple people on the team running this along with other boons that are popped. It's really gonna make for some crazy moments that'll happen while playing.
Yeah, you already know I got about to make my anti-slug build with this. Got my soul guard, you know.
And I got Iggy running 3 boons, exponential circle of healing, and shadow step is gonna be wild.
Yep. Now you already know I'm going to run just triple boons and dead hard. I'm very excited for this to come to the full game. I don't know if they'll nerf it or not because I feel like the boons effects are pretty busted. I don't think anyone's gonna deny that, but I feel like they're decently balanced at the same time just because of how loud they are. The killer can legitimately just break them mid-chase and not lose really any progress in the chase. And, like, I feel like they're kind of balanced that way because you also had to spend, like, was it 16 seconds to boon it anyway? It was a hex totem, it was like 20 or something. So I feel like they're busted but balanced at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Just the amount of like how quickly they can be disregarded, it definitely balances them out.
Yeah. And also the range is pretty good, but like it ain't like it covers the whole map. If they covered the whole map, could you imagine?
Yeah, that would be wild. And it's just really good because like when you're in a coordinated team with this, like you can have boons set up, and like when you're in a certain area, like if you just depending on the way the killer's playing, you can just like head right towards the boon if you just have nowhere else to go. Like it's just this shit is crazy combined with like the other boons. Like it's nuts, really nuts.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what else to do with boons. I think they've been doing a good job with them so far. I guess we could talk about this. Which one do you think is like the worst of the 3? Because like they're obviously all 3 cracked, but I think it's probably Shadow Step.
Yeah, out of the boons, yeah, definitely. I don't know. Circle of Healing's definitely the best, but like Shadow Step and Exponential, like I feel like they both can have their uses. Like Shadow Step's definitely really good, but if you're like injured, it can almost be useless if the killer's like really aware of what's happening around them. So like in Exponential, you're obviously not always gonna be able to get up. Like they can just straight up just pick you up instantly, So it's definitely they're both situational. I don't know. I think they both are pretty equal actually.
Fair. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the killer perks, and Azelly would take it away from here.
Sweet. So for the first killer perk, well, actually the new killer, it's the artist. She basically has crows and stuff like that, and she can set them up for a lot of anti-loop play. So you can set it up, and you can basically activate it, and it'll shoot forward. And if you're within a certain range of the crow, it'll take away a health state. And if not, it'll basically put this effect on you, and the killer will get killer instinct, and they can see your location, and you'll have to repel the crows off of you. And you can do this while running. You don't have to stop, and it takes about 10 seconds, give or take. And that's pretty much what her power does. And she has 3 of them, and she has a basic like recharge time. So after she activates how many, and they all activate at once. So if you set up 2 or 3, they'll all activate at once. You can't do it individually, so they all pop at once. And yeah, you get your recharge time. So that's about it for her power, at least. Yeah. And she's a normal M1 killer outside of that. She moves at I think she actually moves a little bit slower, but that's pretty much her whole kit.
Speed, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's
we played against her PTB a bit. How do you feel about her going against her?
I actually think she'll be much better when she releases, because once people start to actually tame her, I think she'll be much better. Because even in the PTB, some people were actually kind of crazy with her, and it's wild how easily they can shut down loops. But it is kind of one of those things where it's like the survivor perks is a direct counter to her, so like you have overcome if you just see her set up some shit, because her setup when she's actually putting down the crow, she gets kind of a slowdown. So if you see any of that, just run away. That's just pretty much what you just run away from the killer. And
yeah.
I actually do think once she comes out, though, once people start to learn her more, you can do some anti-stuff with that. You can actually work around it, because the slowdown isn't bad. Like, it's not going to prevent you from catching someone. You can still work around it, so that works in the killer's favor a lot.
I feel like she'd be very similar to Blight and Nurse, where it's just a super high skill ceiling. And if you're at like that tip of the skill ceiling, it's going to feel like very like just a losing battle from the start as a survivor. Yeah, that's gonna take some time for people to get used to, obviously. Yeah,
and I think the skill ceiling is actually like much different. Like her skill ceiling is much different than like Blight's or Nurse's, in the fact that like even though for Nurse and Blight you want to know your environment, it's not as heavy on that. It's pretty much just controlling their abilities and being really consistent with their powers. In her case, it's more just knowing the environment. So as you're in a chase, depending on what the survivor does and what loops they try and go to, knowing the loop and knowing where and what to place, so you can actually like correctively handle the loop and make good decisions. Obviously, every survivor is different. They might make different decisions, but if you know the loop really well, you can set it up and then just go from there. So it's kind of crazy how her skill ceiling is much different than Nurses and Blights, but I think it works out really well, because if you just know what you're doing, you can pretty much always secure a hit.
Yeah, it's like we learned that you can't loot kill shack against her. Like,
Yeah.
she just completely shuts that down.
Yeah, so you throw Crow on the window, and then you take the hit, or you leave. You have two decisions, and
Yeah.
depending where the killer is, you might just get fucked. That's about it.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the perks. Azelly, take it away.
All right, so the first perk, you got Grim Embrace. So each time a survivor is hooked for the first time, Grim Embrace gains a token. Upon reaching 4 tokens, Grim Embrace activates, and the entity blocks all generators for 20, 25, or 30 seconds, and the aura of the obsession is revealed to you for 4 seconds. So this perk, you know, it could be useful. It's definitely like a 4th perk on your build. I don't think it's terrible. It's an okay info perk, but I do think there are better options, unfortunately. But it's not a terrible perk. It can definitely give you some info. What do you think about it, Iggy?
Yeah, I can see the use for it, but like I said, I think there's definitely more more useful perks you can use instead of this.
Yeah, like Trillion Tremors, like that'll block all the gens once you pick up Survivor, and then you can like get info off of that, and that, you know, it's cooled down as whatever, but like it definitely will activate much more often. Like this perk, you're not gonna activate like too often. Wait. Yeah, it'll activate once, so if you hook all survivors, then it'll block all the gens, and then, you know, just the order of the obsession is revealed from. So yeah, it's not terrible, but like 30 seconds of time is a lot of time. But with like another perk, like I said, Trillion Tremors, you'll have it pop like multiple times, and you can use that info multiple times a game. So it's like this perk definitely give you use, but you won't get it off much. It's like adrenaline. You get it once and that's it.
Yeah.
All right. So the next perk.
Yeah, I was about to say the next one I think is probably her best perk personally. That might be a hot take, but I think this one's probably the scariest one of the 3.
Yeah. So let's take a look. So Scourge hook pain resonance. Yeah. At the start of the trial, 4 random hooks are changed into Scourge hooks. The aura of Scourge hooks are revealed to you in white. So that's good. That's good that a lot of the aura readings that they've changed to white, like Trapper perks are now white. So this is good. Each time a survivor is hooked on a Scourge hook, the following effect applies. The generator with the most progression explodes, instantly losing 9, 12, or 15% of its progression and starting to regress. Survivors are praying the generator will scream, revealing the location. So this kind of this is actually really good with a lot of other slowdown perks. It definitely works well because, you know, a lot of times when you're in a chase, whatever you're doing, or hooking, whatever, and once you hook, you can pretty much see exactly where like the most generator is being done. And then on top of, you know, getting the location reveals, so like you can know whether 1, 2, or 3 people are on that generator. That works really. On top of the fact that it's like a mini pop, it'll instantly blow it up after hooking a survivor on a Scourge hook. So that works really, really well. On top of, like, you know, if you have pop or ruin, all the other perks. So yeah, I definitely think this is her best perk in her kit.
Yeah, because I know people are like, well, pop gives you like a more percentage, but the thing is, you have to go out your way to get pop to go off. This one just does it as soon as you hook them.
Exactly. So that and even all the time, you won't get pop off. Like you might even get pop, but like with this perk, you know, you have to hook them on the specific perk. But the thing is there's 4 Scourge hooks, and there's what, like maybe like 10 hooks or something like that in each like map or whatever, or like I don't know, something around that. And like if you, most of the time you could be able to get out of your way to actually get this. Like it won't be terrible, so you can definitely get this off a lot in a game. And like I said, this will work really well with other slowdown perks. So that's where this perk is gonna be at its best, when you tie it with like ruin or pop or other perks that'll stop generators. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then just adding to the fact that you get the scream and you see like their location, that it makes it this a really nasty perk.
Yeah, that one definitely scares me.
Yeah. And for the last perk, Hex Pentamento, you see the auras of cleansed totems. You can perform a ritual on the cleansed totems to resurrect it as a rekindled totem. And the more rekindled totems you have, the greater their effects. So at 1 token, or 1 totem, it reduces the healing speed of all survivors by 20, 25, or 30%. 2 totems reduces the repair speed of all survivors by 20, 25, or 30%. 3 totems reduces the recovery speed of all survivors. 4 totems reduces the gate opening speed of all survivors. And at 5 totems, all totems are blocked by the entity. So
yeah,
they
you definitely never seen that 5th one.
Yeah, you're just never gonna see that. And the thing with this is so once you cleanse it, or whenever a survivor boons a totem or cleanses it or whatever. Well, actually, when they cleanse it, obviously they have to cleanse it. And then you pop this. If they cleanse it again, the totem basically just goes away. So, and the likelihood of that happening is much higher than you reaching 5 totems being rekindled. So it's like you're just never gonna see like 5 totems be like all the totems being blocked. Like that's just not gonna happen. But and you're likely to get like 1 or 2. Definitely 3 is definitely pushing it. So like 1 or 2 you'll probably get. So you'll probably get the healing speed and repair speed. But I don't think that's too bad. Me and Iggy tested it out in a match already, and it really isn't that crazy. Like the repair and healing, it really isn't that crazy.
Yeah, because like the thing is, if this perk released like, let's say like a couple months ago, it would actually be this meta as hell because Boontoves that exist is like in this current meta, it's like you don't want to actually cleanse the totems like 90% of the time. You want to just boon them up because it helps the whole team. So you're more than likely not going to get this. And then if even you do, they just go back. They know where the totem was. They know where they broke it. So just go back and re-break it again, and then you just lose the whole perk basically.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so most of the time, once you actually get this to pop, like you'll get the first one, which is the healing speed. And this, it actually really sucks because Circle of Healing is now a thing on top of the other boons. So it's like reducing the speed when all these boons have, like Circle of Healing and Exponential, have 100% speed increase on top of that. It really ain't gonna change that much. So that's the one you'll see the most because if you get 1, that's what you'll get. So that really that sucks for the healing being the first one. And the repair speed, if you actually manage to get that off, like at that point in the game, it'll probably be so late that you pop it that it won't matter. Like the 4th or 5th gen that'll be getting done. And like the thing is, you have to go out of your way to do this because like, yeah, even if you see the totem, this is actually like going out of your way to pop. So it's like the frequency that you'll get value out of the repair speed or recovery, or literally anything above the first totem. It's just the amount of you're really not gonna get value that often out of it. So, and this really ain't gonna pair that well with like other perks since it's a slowdown perk, and it's really overshadowed by this the Scourge hook perk. And yeah, that's pretty much about it for the perk. It's very, very situational.
It's pretty dog shit, I have to be honest.
It really do be that way.
It was funny because at first we were scared of it, then we really thought about it. Like, no, this perk sucks. Like, if we have repair speed as the first one, it would actually be like significantly better because I think that's like the scariest one of all these effects. Is just generators taking 30% like more time. That's awful to think about.
Yeah.
It's just, since healing's first, is like I run like Circle of Healing and botany knowledge and stuff, so that 30% would literally do nothing to me. Exactly,
and the way you would actually like fix this perk is 1, like you said, switch it around, make repair first, and then 2, if you, I actually forgot how long the time is to rekindle the perk or rekindle the totem, but
it's like instant.
It's instant. Okay, so survivors should not be able to like break rekindled totems because literally, if you have even slightly aware survivors of what's happening and they, I don't know, if they tell the speed, even though it's not that much and it really isn't that bad, but let's say in, I don't know, another dimension where the repair speed is first, that's the first totem, and they start getting aware of that like often, they literally can just find the totem because someone had to have cleansed it. So if you're facing any aware survivors, they can literally just go break it. So
yeah,
survivors should not be able to break rekindled totems. That's actually like very unfair to this perk because it makes it almost useless because they already have the info on exactly what, like, where it is, so all they do is go break it, and then the perk becomes useless.
If anything, I feel like there should be a timer before you can break it. Like, say they lock the totem for like 30 seconds or something like that. Because like I know people are saying, "Oh, you can't break the totems that's broken," which one is wrong because you shouldn't be breaking them anyway unless you're looking for no-ed. With boons out, like there's no point in breaking a totem. You can just boon the totem instead and help the team. But I think you just put like a timer on it, it'd be perfectly fine. Like 30 seconds a minute or something, like a mini corrupt intervention, but for like totems or something.
Yeah, and exactly. And I would think that timer should be longer, considering the fact that to even get this to work, it requires a survivor to break a totem. It requires them to break the totem, then for you to go out of your way to do it, to get a very small effect that is countered by other meta perks. On top of the fact that if you even get more than one, it basically becomes useless because it's already, all these other things have been accomplished already. Like, there's just too much setup and too much drawbacks to actually having this perk when there's so many better perks to run over this.
Yeah, it's just like it's just because killer's time is like way more valuable, because the time you go out to do this, they've already probably popping gens at that point.
Yeah, like by the time you get repair speed, like 4 or 5 gens are like, maybe even the last gen is already popped.
Yeah.
So
it's not really that great. It's funny because everyone thought this perk was crazy when we first saw it, and then we really started thinking about it and testing it and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's actually not that great. So I think the Scourge hook is by far her best perk.
Yeah, that perk will work really well with other perks, and that's definitely the one you'll get the most use out of if you choose to unlock all these unlock the perks. So, yeah, that's about it for the killer perks.
From us. Yeah, that's about it for us. Oh wait, the map. What do you think about the map?
I know we have very different opinions on the map, but I actually really like it. I think the map, I like how bright it is. Definitely sucks for someone like Trapper, but I like brighter maps. I think they work really well. I just like being able to see shit, and I think a lot of the new loops are really nice. I think they're I don't know, they're really like plain and simple, like very blocky, just really easy to work. It definitely works in the killer's favor because how it is. There isn't too many jungle gyms of like the TNL walls and all that stuff like that. There's more just like really basic little blocky loops on there. But yeah, and I like the like second floor building, stuff like that. There's a lot of god loops on there, or god pallets that you can just drop in. But yeah, it's really nice. It actually is a really balanced map, I feel.
I'm very mixed on it. I like the brighter maps because they just look better. They're just more pleasant eyes when everything else is just green and dark and shit. But my thing with it is like, it's the PTB, so maybe they'll polish it up more. It just feels like it just looks unfinished to me. Like, it doesn't feel like they detailed it yet. But other than that, like, it just hurts my eyes right now. I feel like they will polish it up a little bit before it comes out. But other than that, I do like it for the most part. Although the totem spawns suck.
They do, 100%.
They're all directly open. It's literally impossible not to just like walk past the totem. Like, you're going to see it unless you're just blind.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad for both the killer and the survivor, because you put a boon up it's getting destroyed. You have a hex totem there. Oh look, here's a hex totem. Like, you literally cannot hide totems.
Yeah, there's a part on the map where me and Iggy were playing, and it's basically next to this little like graveyard thing, and the totem is actually like right next to this loop. Like, it's right next to this pallet, and it's literally the most obvious totem on the planet. So it's like, oh, in the fucking another dimension where you actually run this hex Pentamento perk, that's your hex, and then the hex is in the middle of bumfuck nowhere where everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad totem spots. It's rough.
Yeah, it's bad for both sides.
Yeah,
because you literally can't, like, that totem you're talking about may as well just be in the middle of the street. Like, it may as well just be there. Like,
yeah, and
it's so bad. And
considering the two biggest sides of the map, so the way the map is kind of like laid out is you have the big building in the middle, right? And then you have basically two on each side of the building. There's two big parts, and then on the actual other sides of the building, it's kind of like small pathways that like go towards, like, there's a couple loops in between them, but basically on each side where like the exits and the like the shack towards like tends to spawn, there's like a big side, and that's where most of your totems are probably gonna maybe 2 or 3 totems will spawn on that side, and they're just really easy to see considering how bright the map actually is. Like I said, and hopefully they change that when the game comes out. Like you said, like, hopefully they polish the map up the way it looks, and like the totem spawns more, because it's rough.
Yeah. There is like 1 or 2 good spots that are inside the main part, but if you run by them, you're still gonna see them pretty easily.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's about it for the map.
Yeah, I think that's about it for our thoughts on this. Overall, I really like this update. I really like having actual good survivor perks, because personally I don't think like the last several matches were that good, besides like since the Boon Totems. It's like they have a lot of like fun perks to mess with, but like you're not really going to run them and get much use out of them most of the time. But I really like this set. Killer kind of got cucked a little bit on the perks, but the Scourge hook is really good. I personally feel like it's a better pop. Other than that, I mean, I like the update. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. That'd be great.
Yeah, so I think that's about it for us. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope y'all have a great day. Azelly, any final words?
I do not, sir. Just yeah, it was fun talking about this.
All right, and we see y'all later, gamers.
Peace.
Easy.